Hello and welcome to Yoga with Carolynne, and welcome back outside. Last week's practice seemed to really resonate with you. You seem to really enjoy being outside with me, so why not? As long as the weather is nice here in Canada, maybe this is where we're going to be hanging out for the next few weeks on the channel. Today's practice is a sun salutation flow, really inspired by the energy of the sun and the idea of really following joy and following fun and pleasure just for the fun of it, just because it feels good. So roll out your yoga mat, maybe outside or maybe inside, and just enjoying the sound of the birds here where I am. Put on your comfy clothes and let's get started. Welcome to Yoga with Carolynne, teaching empaths and sensitive souls just like you how to create a collaborative relationship with your body through cozy, accessible yoga and self-care practices in order to live a life filled with less doing and more being. So for today's yoga practice, a few yoga blocks might be really helpful because, as you know, if you've been here before, I'm really passionate about making sure that these practices are really accessible for you. And sun salutations are a really common flow, a really common way to practice yoga, but it's not always the most accessible. So yoga blocks are going to be your friends for today's practice if you've got them. If you don't, a few heavy books will work just fine. So the idea of really pulling from the inspiration and the energy of the sun is what today's practice is all about. And the sun is really a symbol for fun and abundance and gratitude and pleasure and joy. And really the idea of following joy or enjoying pleasure or finding fun just for the sake of it has these shoulds all over them in terms of I need to earn this or I deserve to have fun because I work really hard. And I know for myself, I have been navigating in my own life really untangling the association of fun needing to be something that's justified or deserved or worked for. So today's practice is really to inspire you to follow joy and really do what just brings you happiness and joy and fun for the only goal that it just feels good. So we're going to be starting today's practice in a child's pose. So bringing yourself onto your hands and your knees, please. You can create a really nice big shape with the legs so the knees can be wide to really create space for your body, and then your hips are settled onto your heels. Bringing yourself all the way down, and this might be right away where you begin to use your blocks. So one block underneath of the forehead and another block underneath of the torso, so the chest or the belly. As you settle into your practice, the eyes can come to a close here so that your other senses can really heighten as you settle into this moment. Whether you are outside as well or you are simply enjoying the view of this practice as you hang out in your home. Allow the awareness of the sounds around you, the temperature of the air, the smells that you might smell. Allow that to be your invitation to settle into this moment. Giving yourself the gift of presence and awareness. If the idea of following joy and finding fun for you is sometimes fraught with the idea of having to justify it, then I would invite you to be really kind, really patient, and really open as you settle into your practice today. There's no shame. There's no guilt. There's no shoulds needed here on your mat in your practice. Let's take one deep breath together, you and I. Inhale. Out the mouth, exhale. Sliding the hands underneath of the shoulders to press yourself up into a tabletop position. If your blocks were underneath of your body, placing your blocks towards the front end of your space. Meeting in that tabletop position with the hands underneath of the wrists and the knees underneath of the hips. Take an inhale to drop the belly down towards the floor and the gaze looks up towards the sky. Starting at the base of the tailbone, exhale as you tip the tailbone. Spread the shoulder blades, tuck the chin in towards the chest. Inhale, drop that belly down, the gaze looks up towards the sky. Also, the cows have made their way in the field across the other way, so you might hear some mooing today. Exhale as you come into your cat. Funnily enough, inhale, let's come into cow pose one last time. Exhale, cat pose. Press the shoulder blades up, tuck the chin in towards the chest. Beautiful. Come back into your tabletop position. Walk the hands forward. You're coming into a low plank. So you set yourself up here where you're coming forward, your shoulders are above your wrists, and maybe the feet lift up away from the floor or from the ground. Bring the belly button in towards the spine. Use your breath. Inhale here. Exhale as you bend into the elbows, really slow. Keep the elbows hugging in towards the ribs as you bring yourself down towards the floor. Tops of the feet come into the floor, press into the mat. Hands are under the shoulders or even a little further back, and really please hug those elbows in towards the ribs, keeping everything nice and safe and aligned. Take an inhale to press into the tops of the feet, shine the heart forward, and lift yourself up into a low cobra. Start really low. Exhale as you bring yourself down. 2 more times like that. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, shine the heart forward. Keep the back of the neck soft. Exhale, bring yourself down. One last time. Inhale, roll the shoulders back. Exhale down. Press into your hands and knees to inhale, come into your tabletop position. And then we'll come into a downward facing dog. Really spread the fingers nice and wide. Curl the toes under, descend the hips up and back into your first downward facing dog. Pedal it out into the legs, bend one knee, bend the other knee. Shake the head to relax the neck. And then coming into stillness in your downward facing dog. So this is where your blocks might be really helpful. So really listen to your body here. How do your wrists feel? How does your center of gravity feel? Do you feel like you are evenly distributing your weight between the hands and the feet? If the answer is yes, perfect. If the answer is no, here are a few ways in order for you to really support yourself. First, let's make sure that the hands and the feet are in the right position in terms of really supporting your body. Roll yourself forward into a plank pose, a high push-up. Once you make your way there, if you notice that your hips are quite high, walk your feet back away from your hands, so further towards the back end of your space. This is where you want your hands and your feet to be in your downward facing dog. So from here, bring yourself up and back into your downward facing dog. Notice if that feels a little bit different. And you've got lots of space in between the feet, so really big downward facing dog. Another way that you can modify is that you can place hands onto blocks. In their lowest height, they're nice and sticky, so they're not going to slip. Hands are on the blocks, and the heel of your palm is on the edge of the yoga block. That can be a really nice support to raise the floor up a little bit of a less stark angle in the wrists. Okay, from here, you're going to walk your hands towards the back end of your mat, coming into a forward fold at the back end of your space. Softness in the knees here, let the head hang. From here, take an inhale to find your half lift. Bring the hands onto the shins or the thighs. Keep the gaze down on the floor. Tuck the chin in just slightly. Exhale as you bring yourself down into your forward fold. Press into the feet to slowly roll up to standing. The head is the very last thing to come up. Once you make your way there, roll the shoulders back and the palms open towards the front of your space. Settle into the stillness of your mountain pose, your Tadasana, just for a moment here. What are you aware of here? What do you hear? What do you smell? What sensation do you feel on your skin? These moments in which you can pause and connect with the simpleness of these moments that gives yourself permission to listen to what brings you joy. What feels good? All right, let's find that movement. Take an inhale to reach the fingertips out and all the way up towards the sky. Maybe the gaze comes up if that feels good for the back of the neck. Big softness in the knees as you lead with the heart to bring yourself all the way down into your forward fold. Take an inhale to find your half lift. We've been here before, we know this one. Reach the top of the head forward. Exhale, forward fold. Walk the hands forward to bring yourself into your plank pose, your push-up position. Right away, bring the knees down on the floor. Take an inhale here. Exhale as you bend into the elbows, bring yourself down towards the mat. We've been here before. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, heart down. Press into your hands and knees. Find your tabletop position. Curl the toes under. Maybe the blocks come under the hands, and you bring yourself back into your downward facing dog. From here, walk the hand towards the back end of your yoga mat. Forward fold. Inhale, find your half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Press into the feet. This time you're bringing yourself all the way up, leading with the hands. Bring yourself up, the fingertips reach up towards the sky. Exhale, the hands come into heart center and you pause. The first sun salutation of the practice. Take a moment to pause. Take a moment to feel. Take a moment to notice your breath. Inhale. Reach the hands out to either side and all the way up towards the sky. Softness in the knees. Exhale, lead with the heart. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Walk those hands forward. Plank pose, bring the knees down. Inhale here. Strong in the belly. Exhale, elbows bend, sliding against the ribs, belly down. Cobra pose. Inhale, pull that heart forward and up. Maybe you're lifting a little bit higher this time. Exhale, heart down. Press into hands and knees. Inhale, tabletop. Curl the toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk the hands back. Inhale, find your half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Press into the feet. Inhale, reach it out and up. Exhale, hands to heart. Maybe you're feeling yourself warm up a little bit. That's okay. Stay with it. Let's feel that. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, lead with the heart, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, down. Walk the hands forward. Knees down. Inhale. Exhale, bend at the elbows. Bring yourself down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down. Press into hands and knees. Inhale, tabletop. Curl the toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog. From here, walk the hands back. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Press into the feet. Inhale, reach the hands out as you bring yourself all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Okay, last one. I'm going to stay quiet, and I would love for you to explore the movements with your own rhythm and length of breath. Meeting with the hands into heart center. Pause here. Notice. We're going to transition down towards the ground. I would love for you to give yourself permission to move in a way that just feels good. Don't worry about the alignment. Don't worry about it looking perfect. You're going to make your way all the way down onto your back. So before you move, take a moment to notice if you're like, okay, I want to make sure that I'm flowing really well, that it looks good, that I'm like not moving too fast or not moving too slow. You're finding joy here. You're moving in a way that feels good. So we'll meet on our backs. Once you do make your way onto your back, the palms open towards the sky, the feet are wide. If you are outside, you can keep the eyes open and really tap into the playfulness of looking up at the sky, watching the clouds as they move up above. Or maybe it would feel good to have the eyes closed and just feeling the warmth of the sun on your face. And if you're practicing this inside, listen to the sounds of the video. Listen to the sounds of the birds and the crickets. Following joy is not something that needs to be earned or deserved or justified. Today's practice is your invitation to tap into what the energy of the sun is inviting you to do. Maybe that's nothing, or maybe that's a lot. Maybe it's slowing down, or maybe it's tapping into creativity. Maybe it's spending more time outside, or maybe it's spending more time inside. This is where I leave you in today's practice, because I would love for you to stay here as long as you want. Thank you so much for joining me during today's sun salutation to find joy, follow fun. From my heart to yours, and until next time, namaste.